Can an MRI replace having a prostate biopsy? Because if you've just been told that you need one, that question is front and center. Up to 50% of men in centers using MRI first now avoid biopsy altogether. But here's what most men don't know. If your MRI misses something, you could be walking around with a cancer you don't even know about. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what an MRI can and cannot do, when it's safe to skip a biopsy, and when skipping it could be the worst decision that you make. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Associate Professor Charles Chabert. I'm a urologist and director of the Prostate Clinic located on the Gold Coast in Queensland. Over the last 20 years as a urologist, I've seen both. I've seen men being saved from unnecessary biopsy from using an MRI scan, and when an MRI scan has not given us the information that we need. If this video helps, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. All right, let me give you the answer up front. An MRI scan cannot replace a biopsy, but it absolutely should come before a biopsy. An MRI, in essence, is a triage tool. It's not a replacement. It tells us who needs a biopsy and who can safely avoid one. But the moment there's a suspicious lesion on a scan, tissue confirmation as of 2026, the time of recording this video, is still very much the gold standard. And here's why the distinction matters. A multiparametric MRI, or an mpMRI, looks at the prostate in different ways. The anatomical structure and configuration, the blood supply and whether there's any asymmetry, and density of various aspects within the prostate. A radiologist then assigns something called a PI-RADS score, which ranges from 1 at its least aggressive to 5 at its most aggressive. In essence, a PI-RAD 1 or 2 means that the probability that someone has a prostate cancer is low. A PI-RAD 3 in many ways is sitting on the fence in a bit of a gray area, and 4s and 5s are more suspicious for a prostate cancer diagnosis. Now, the evidence is strong. There was a trial, it was called the PROMIS trial, and it was a landmark study that essentially showed that an MRI first avoided unnecessary prostate biopsies in almost a third of men. More than 1 in 4 walked in expecting a needle biopsy and actually walked out without one. Now, if a biopsy is needed, the MRI tells us different information. It tells us where the spot in concern is, what size it is, and proximity to other structures. We now have a tool called an MRI fusion biopsy where the MRI image is overlaid onto a real-time ultrasound to allow us to be more specific with targeting a particular area. Now, whilst MRIs have revolutionized how we screen or test for prostate cancer, it's important to be aware that an MRI is not a perfect tool. And so the false negative rate with an MRI is actually around 10%. Now, what that means is the probability that someone can have prostate cancer but a normal MRI is around 10%. Now, the other challenge that we have with MRI are PI-RAD 3 lesions. This is the kind of the gray area, the equivocal score. The radiologist, in essence, can't confidently say yes or no. And studies show that approximately 25 to 30% of people who have a PI-RAD 3 can actually have prostate cancer. Now, in practice, a PI-RAD 3 almost always ends up with a biopsy. But we do have choices. We can manage it conservatively, or certainly in Australia, we can get additional imaging, such as a PSMA PET scan, to help reconcile that difference. Now, the gold standard really is to have a biopsy. The MRI scan gives us the probability of a prostate cancer diagnosis, but the biopsy itself is concrete in telling us if someone has cancer or not. And at this stage, there certainly is no substitute for confirming a prostate cancer diagnosis and also telling us the grade or the Gleason score of a cancer. Now, the type of a biopsy also matters. And in a recent video, I actually covered transperineal versus transrectal biopsy. See a link in the description below. And the key point in that video, in essence, was that a transperineal approach had a dramatically lower infection rate, less than around 0.2%. Certainly in my experience of doing transperineal biopsies, touch wood, I haven't seen an infection for 16 years. So the sequence guidelines now recommend PSA test, MRI scan, and a biopsy only if indicated, not an MRI, if you like, instead of the biopsy. MRI first. So when is it reasonable to skip a biopsy? Well, there are 3 potential scenarios. Number 1, PSA is mildly elevated, you have a PI-RAD 1 or 2, and certainly at the prostate clinic, I advocate for these men that we monitor with serial PSA testing. And potentially if the PSA goes up, but the MRI is normal, we might organize a PSMA PET scan in due course. Have you had a PSA test? Have you had an MRI scan? Or did you need to proceed on with a biopsy? If you have a story that you're prepared to share with men, please leave it in the comment section down below so that we can all learn through this journey together. Number 2, if someone has a PI-RAD 3 lesion. Now, our options with a PI-RAD 3 are number 1, get a PSMA PET scan. Number 2, survey for a period of time and get a better handle on what the PSA is doing. Or number 3, potentially proceed on with a biopsy. Now, scenario number 3 is where people have a PI-RAD 4 or a PI-RAD 5 lesion. In this context, we always proceed on with a biopsy. And in essence, the probability of not having a biopsy if someone has a PI-RAD 5 lesion, really that certainly is beyond the confines of current recommendation. All right, a little note here for Australian patients. Medicare covers a multiparametric MRI. So if you meet certain criteria related to your elevated PSA, so if you're less than 70 and you've got 2 PSAs within 3 months that are above 3, or you have an abnormal examination, or 2 PSAs in 3 months above 2 and a family history, that is covered by Medicare. Now, here's something that actually surprises a lot of men that I see at the prostate clinic. The MRI first pathway is actually not new. Certainly it's been advocated in Australia since around 2012. The European guidelines officially adopted it and recommended it from 2018. It's been officially reimbursed in Australia since 2020, and in America, the NCCN guidelines now recommend an MRI first before initial biopsy. So this is the standard of care within most developed health systems. And this matters, there are still some centers that actually go straight from elevated PSA through to biopsy without an MRI scan. And that's where men get biopsies potentially that they didn't need to have. Not because anyone is trying to do the wrong thing, but the system hasn't caught up with the evidence. The verdict, an MRI first, but never an MRI on its own. It's a triage tool, it's not a replacement tool, but it can save you an unnecessary biopsy if your MRI is clear. Now, to summarize here, if your PSA is rising and your GP has flagged an abnormality, ask your GP for an MRI or a referral to a urologist so that you can access an MRI. And if you want to know what happens after that, because the number that you get on the report, on the biopsy report, changes everything. And that's the Gleason score. And that's the next video that we're going to cover in this series. So if you'd like to know more about your prostate, have a look at this video here or this video here. Until the next time, take care of your prostate.